In the heart of a bustling metropolis, nestled between vibrant shops and busy cafes, stood Nneka's Oasis, a quaint salon that had become a sanctuary for women seeking transformation. The building was modest, yet it exuded warmth with its welcoming facade, adorned with bright murals of women flaunting luxurious hairstyles. The air was thick with the scent of fragrant oils, hair products, and the soft buzz of laughter and chatter, creating a comforting atmosphere that drew in passers-by like moths to a flame. Nneka, the mastermind behind this magical place, was a talented hairstylist known for her uncanny ability to create stunning hairstyles that made women feel beautiful and empowered. Every day, a line of eager customers snaked out the door, each waiting for their turn in Nneka's chair. They came from all walks of life, young professionals preparing for important meetings, brides-to-be dreaming of perfect wedding days, and mothers wanting a moment of pampering. Each woman entered Nneka's salon with her own story, her own hopes, and her own insecurities. Nneka was more than just a stylist. She was a confidant and a friend. With her skilled hands, she transformed not just hair but lives, instilling confidence in her clients with every twist and braid. However, beneath the surface of this thriving salon, Nneka was grappling with her own struggles. She had always dreamed of being a renowned hairstylist, but her aspirations often felt stifled by societal expectations and the demands of her family. As the eldest daughter in a traditional household, she faced immense pressure to conform to the norms that dictated women's roles. The sacrifices made by her parents weighed heavily on her, fueling her desire to succeed. Yet she found herself constantly torn between her ambitions and her familial duties. Nneka's internal conflict was compounded by her complicated relationship with her younger sister, Ife. Ife had always been the free spirit in the family, pursuing her dreams without hesitation. She was studying art at a prestigious university, while Nneka felt trapped in the confines of societal obligations. Their contrasting paths often led to friction, with Ife encouraging Nneka to break free from her self-imposed shackles, while Nneka worried about the repercussions of such rebellion. "Why do you limit yourself, Nneka?" Ife would often ask, her voice tinged with exasperation. "You have a gift. You should share it with the world." Nneka would smile, but deep down, she felt the weight of her sister's words. "You don't understand," she would reply, her heart heavy with the burden of responsibility. "I have to take care of our family. What if I fail?" Despite the growing tension, Ife remained Nneka's biggest supporter, always pushing her to pursue her dreams. Yet, the fear of disappointing her family loomed large, stifling Nneka's ambitions like a shadow. She yearned to break free, to embrace the creativity that flowed through her veins, yet the expectations tied to her identity as the eldest daughter kept her shackled. As the weeks passed, the weight of Nneka's internal struggle began to manifest in her work. Although her clients adored her and the salon flourished, she couldn't shake the feeling of discontent gnawing at her soul. Each time she styled a woman's hair, she felt a flicker of joy, yet it was often overshadowed by a sense of unfulfillment. She longed for recognition beyond the salon walls, to showcase her artistry on a grander scale. Then one fateful day, a twist of fate presented itself. A local fashion designer named Kemi walked into Nneka's Oasis, her eyes sparkling with a vision. Kemi was preparing for a grand fashion show and was in search of someone to style her models. The moment she laid eyes on Nneka's work, she was captivated. "You have an extraordinary talent, Nneka," Kemi exclaimed, her voice full of excitement. "I need you for my show." Imagine the exposure and the opportunities that could come from this. Nneka's heart raced at the prospect. It was the opportunity she had always dreamed of, yet a wave of doubt washed over her. "But I've never worked on a fashion show before," she stammered, insecurity creeping into her voice. "What if I mess up?" Kemi placed a reassuring hand on Nneka's shoulder. "You won't. I believe in you. This is your chance to shine." As Kemi's words sank in, Nneka felt a flicker of hope ignite within her. This could be the turning point she had been waiting for. The thought of showcasing her talent on such a grand stage filled her with a mix of exhilaration and fear. But the fear of failure battled with the desire to seize the opportunity, creating an internal storm that raged in her mind. With Kemi's encouragement, Nneka agreed to join the fashion show. Over the next few weeks, she poured her heart and soul into preparing for the event, pushing herself to the limit. She experimented with bold styles, creating intricate braids and stunning updos that showcased her creativity. Her small salon transformed into a creative hub, with sketches scattered across the floor and her clients serving as her muses. However, as the day of the fashion show approached, the pressure mounted. Nneka felt the weight of expectations bearing down on her shoulders. Doubts resurfaced, taunting her with visions of failure. What if she messed up? What if her work didn't meet Kemi's standards? She struggled to quiet the voice of self-doubt, and despite Ife's unwavering support, she felt more alone than ever. On the day of the fashion show, Nneka arrived at the venue, her heart pounding in her chest. The atmosphere buzzed with excitement, the air thick with anticipation. Models flitted around, their faces painted with makeup that glimmered under the lights. As she set up her station, Nneka's hands trembled, her nerves threatening to overwhelm her. She closed her eyes for a moment, inhaling deeply, trying to center herself. "Remember why you're here," Ife whispered, appearing at her side. "You have this talent for a reason. Embrace it." Nneka nodded, grateful for her sister's encouragement. But as the show began, her confidence wavered. She styled model after model, her hands moving with precision, yet the nagging doubt crept back in. The audience watched with rapt attention, but Nneka's mind was a whirlwind of insecurities. Then came the turning point. As the final model approached her, Nneka felt a surge of energy coursing through her. She glanced at the model's hair, envisioning a stunning design that would elevate the entire look. In that moment, she let go of her fears, allowing her creativity to take over. With each twist of hair, she felt the tension release, replaced by a sense of freedom and purpose. When the model stepped onto the runway, the crowd erupted in applause. Nneka's heart soared as she watched her creation come to life under the spotlight. In that instant, she realized she was more than just a hairstylist. She was an artist, and this was her canvas. As the show concluded, Kemi rushed over, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "You were incredible, Nneka. Your work was breathtaking." Nneka felt a wave of elation wash over her. The fears that had once consumed her began to dissipate, replaced by a newfound confidence. It was a small victory, but it marked a significant shift in her journey. However, the fallout from that night was not without its complications. The sudden attention thrust upon her brought a mix of excitement and dread. While many praised her talent, some of her clients from the salon began to express their concerns. They felt neglected, as Nneka became increasingly engrossed in her newfound fame. "Where have you been, Nneka?" one of her regulars asked, hurt evident in her voice. "You used to care so much about us." Nneka's heart sank at the realization that she had unintentionally distanced herself from those who had supported her. The burden of ambition had clouded her vision, and she began to understand the delicate balance between personal success and the relationships that mattered most. One evening, as she sat alone in her salon, Nneka's thoughts drifted to Ife. She had been so focused on her own journey that she had neglected her sister's dreams and aspirations. Picking up her phone, she dialed Ife's number, anxiety bubbling in her chest. "Hey, Nneka, I'm so proud of you." Ife's voice was cheerful, but Nneka could hear the strain beneath the surface. "You've worked so hard." I've been so caught up in everything that I haven't been there for you," Nneka admitted, guilt flooding her heart. "You're chasing your dreams and I've been selfish." Ife's silence stretched on and Nneka felt her heart race. "Nneka, you have every right to pursue your passion. Just remember that I'm here too and I want to support you." Nneka realized the weight of her sister's words. She had allowed her ambition to blind her to the needs of those she loved. From that moment on, she vowed to find a way to balance her aspirations with her relationships, ensuring that neither would suffer. As weeks turned into months, Nneka continued to thrive in her career. Her salon gained recognition, and she became a sought-after stylist. But instead of losing herself in the chaos of fame, she made a conscious effort to connect with her clients, pouring her heart into each hairstyle and fostering the relationships that had once been her lifeline. Nneka's journey was not without its challenges. The fashion industry was cutthroat, and she faced competitors who envied her success. There were moments of self-doubt and fear. But through it all, she learned to embrace her vulnerabilities, drawing strength from the support of her sister and the loyal clients who had stood by her side. The climax of Nneka's journey came unexpectedly during a major fashion event. She was invited to showcase her designs, and the stakes were higher than ever. The night was filled with anticipation, and Nneka felt the pressure weighing on her. As she stood backstage, surrounded by models and stylists, the familiar voice of self-doubt crept in. What if I fail? What if they don't like my work? But then she remembered her journey, the struggles, the support, and the love that had propelled her forward. As she watched the models strut down the runway, wearing her creations with confidence, she felt a rush of empowerment. She was ready to face the challenge head-on. In that moment, Nneka found her voice. She realized that she was not just a hairstylist. She was a storyteller, weaving narratives through her art. Each hairstyle represented a journey, a celebration of individuality and strength. The applause that erupted from the audience became a chorus of validation, a reminder that she had found her place in the world. As the night concluded, Nneka stood on the runway, overwhelmed by emotion. She took a moment to reflect on the journey that had brought her here, the sacrifices, the struggles, and the triumphs. She knew she had grown, not just as a stylist, but as a person. In the aftermath of the event, the world outside Nneka's oasis seemed to glow with possibilities. She was no longer just a stylist in a small salon. She was an artist, a mentor, and a beacon of hope for other women who dared to dream. Her success became a source of inspiration, not just for herself, but for those who had followed her journey from the beginning. And as she walked through the doors of her salon one last time that night, Nneka knew that the real victory lay not in the accolades or recognition, but in the connections she had fostered along the way. The women who had once sought her out for hairstyles were now friends, each with their own stories and dreams. Nneka stood before the mirror, a soft smile gracing her lips. She had come full circle, and in that moment, She understood the true essence of beauty, embracing imperfections, nurturing relationships, and allowing the journey to unfold in its own time. As she locked up the salon, a sense of peace washed over her. This was just the beginning.